What's up, everybody? Jay here with Jay's Backyard Cooking. And yes, you guessed it, I had technical difficulties again. So it looked like this is going to be just a voiceover video. What I had planned was to do the unboxing, show you what it took to get it put together, and then the first cook, which were 2 slabs of rib that came out very good. But I'm not going to waste the lost footage. I'll go ahead and talk through it as much as I can. Maybe put in some music here and there at a low volume. So here we go. Here I'm just opening the box, trying to see what's inside, the contents and whatnot. It was packaged very nice, very tight. Here you can see it came with 2 rubs, the Pit Barrel branded rubs. And of course it came with some literature. There was a sticker in there and then the instructions. And then like a brochure to order more Pit Barrel branded parts. Right off the bat I realized I was going to have to bolt on the handle. Wasn't that big of a deal. Pit Barrel actually sent a little screwdriver and a small wrench to get the job done. The stand is nice and sturdy. All you do is set it on the floor and put the barrel on top and you're done. The grate, well, it's a grate. Got the job done. Oh, and let me tell you, I was real surprised to find this in there. It's got some special racks to hang sausage, hot dogs, one for corn, and then just a general basket for like potatoes and whatnot. I didn't realize I was getting that when I purchased it online. And here's the basket where the charcoal goes. The instructions say to fill it up and then take out a quarter of it and put it into your chimney or your fire starter and then dump it in 15 minutes later. And now time to pull the barrel out. Let me tell you, it's a lot heavier than what it looked. The box itself with all the parts in it, I thought was all the weight, but this barrel is pretty heavy duty. The rebar here is attached to the side. That's the rebar that goes from side to side of the barrel so that you can hang your meat on. They also help regulate the airflow. So, as I said earlier, 2 bolts. It came with the wrench and the screwdriver. Really simple. Took less than a minute to get the handle bolted on, and we were ready to go. And the handle also doubles as a hanger, so you can hang your lid on the side instead of having to put it on the floor or find somewhere to set it on. Pretty cool idea. So here we are outside. I didn't want to put the barrel directly on my concrete pad, so I ended up getting some bricks that I had off to the side. I wanted it set up on the grass instead of on the concrete, just personal preference. Fill up the basket with your favorite charcoal, all the way to the top. Then the instructions say to take out a quarter of what's in the basket and put it in your chimney or your fire starter, and then get that started and let it go for 15 minutes before you dump it back in. And this is basically what it looks like. I decided to take the quarter out from the center of the basket. Here I believe I was explaining that I had the porthole set to the instructions. And then I went into the 4-prong thermometer that I used by Inkbird. I had that listed in the details below if you're interested in it. It works really, really well with me. It's got 1 probe for the temperature of the pit, and then it's got 3 more for your meats. It's a really good deal. I wasn't going to bore you with the rib prep, so just a quick picture. And then the coals were already ready to go, so I dumped them in the center of the basket down below. Use a good pair of gloves so you can protect your hands from the heat as you're dumping it in. No more need for the grate in my cook. I'm just going to use the rebar. The hooks that came with the pit barrel is what I'm going to use to hang them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just looking for a rib or two. I'm just going to find a soft spot to drive that hook through. And that's how it's going to hang off the rebar. I already have the temperature probes here running through one of the holes where the rebar was, but that's what it looks like. So I basically did set it and forget it. The whole time it ran about 255. It wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be. It took every bit of an hour to get the internal temp on most of them to about 160, 165. At that point, I decided it was time to pull them and wrap them. I didn't do anything special. I put down some dollops of butter, put the ribs on top of them, wrapped them up, and put them right back in on the grate this time. Target temperature 201, 202, 203, somewhere around there. Okay, so at this point, the ribs have already hit temperature. They're sitting at right about 201, 202, somewhere around there. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the rods. And I'm gonna take out first the ones with just the salt and pepper. And you can really tell by the color. You see how these are more red than these are? Hopefully you can see it. But these are the ones that have just the salt and pepper. So these are the ones that I'm going to take out, and I'm going to cover them up and just let them rest. And then with these other ones, what I'm actually going to do is coat those with a layer of Kinder's barbecue sauce. Guys, if you haven't had Kinder's barbecue sauce, I am not a big barbecue sauce fan myself. But this Kinder's barbecue sauce is pretty dang awesome. Let's get a nice good coating of it. And then we're gonna throw this back into the barrel. Again, going back in just enough for it to tack up. Put the rod back in. Probably don't need it at this point, but follow directions. And then cover it back up. Again, another 15 minutes, we're done. These are going to work with me tomorrow. But if you see, nice pullback, beautiful red color. I think these are gonna be delicious. I think they're gonna be a hit tomorrow. So real quick, my thoughts. As you can see, I screwed up the volume again. I think I'm having issues. I'm not sure, either the cameras or the external microphones that I bought. I'm having issues with one of them. Recorded most of this video with no sound again. So forgive me for the voiceover. I'm gonna do as best I can to kind of make it all fall in line to where you can understand it. The only other issue that I see right now is that I had a full basket of charcoal and no way to turn it off, because even the little hole at the bottom, and I'll show it a little bit in the closing video part, but even the closing at the bottom, the flap doesn't close it all the way, so there's really no way to choke it out. I'm not sure of any other way other than just to let it burn and let it continue till it gets cold. That being said, the barrel has to sit out in the open, you know, so that it can burn out and get cool enough so I can move it closer to the house. I got a cover coming today for it, but I'm not gonna be able to use it till it dies out. That is the port, okay? But it's probably too hot for me to grab it. But even closed all the way, it's still, you can still see a gap under here. So air is still gonna make its way in there. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's still quite a bit of unburned charcoal down there. So I'm thinking maybe next time, I mean, I guess the only other option is to not use as much charcoal to where I don't waste it. The other directions comes in like 4 different languages, I think. But if you see on the first one, and I'll hover it over a little bit so you can hit pause or whatever it is that you need to do. But like I said, it gives you the little diagram on here, depending on your sea level of where you're at, is how open that porthole is supposed to be. If you want to pause it so you can read through it, I'm going to read it again and see if there's any kind of special instructions on how to shut it down. But like I said, I don't think there was or is. So at this point, I'm just going to let it burn. Wait till it gets cold enough. So with all that being said, if you like what you're seeing here, if you're enjoying the videos, of course, other than the no sound, I'll get that fixed soon. Please consider subscribing, hit that like button and comment. Let me know, is there a special process to getting her shut down, getting her colder faster? I don't know, but at this point, like I said, I'm letting her roll with it. We'll see you next time.